Okay, here with Gerard Batten. He's just been speaking to us in the Radisson Blue Hotel in Durham. So you've been up in Durham, well, you've been up in the northeast, should I say, a couple of times now. What do you think of the reception that you get in the northeast?
It's been absolutely fantastic. I've been in various places, Newcastle, Wigan, other places, and we get more people at every meeting. It's been a really great reception from my point of view. I hope everybody's enjoyed the event.
I found it interesting.
Well, not just me speaking. We've had other people like Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad. We've had Alan Craig, one of my spokesmen on families and children, and we've had other speakers, and I've really enjoyed it. It's gone down well, and I think the audience have. It's very important to me because what I want to do is, UKIP has, I wouldn't say it was a southern-centric party. I don't think that's ever been true, but what I've been trying to do is revitalise the northern part of UKIP, because I think it's very important that we show that we appeal to former Labour voters and actually encourage them to come on board and join UKIP and vote UKIP, along with the conservative form of voters down in the south that we've always had a good following with, because we are not right or left, we're about being right on the issues. That's the way we look at it. So we don't mind if people vote Conservative or vote Labour. We want people who care about Britain, who read our policies, agree with our policies, then start supporting us. And of course here in Durham you've got 7 parliamentary seats which are all held by Labour.
I mean, the second safest Labour seat in the whole
country.
Really?
Well, you've got a big job on your hands then, because what we want is
I got my deposit back.
Good, fantastic. And we want to put candidates in all of those seats when the general election comes, which could be soon. It might be not built to be till 2022. We don't know. But whenever it comes, we want to be ready to fight it. And in my opinion, Labour has betrayed the working class, the people that it was supposed to represent. And we need to challenge Labour everywhere up and down the country. When the general election comes, I want UKIP to put 650 candidates in place and challenge every seat: Tory, Labour, Lib Dem.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you 2 more questions. One is, what would you say to the people who just listen to the media and think, and I've actually had a colleague say to me, is that why UKIP collapsed? I know it hasn't. Have you got an answer to them?
Fewer and fewer people are actually getting their information from the so-called mainstream media. I asked the question here tonight that I asked at the meetings that I go to: how many people here now listen to less mainstream media news and current affairs than they did at the time of the referendum? And 90-odd% of the hands go up. People are no longer believing the diet of propaganda that are being fed by the mainstream media, and more people are looking at alternative media and social media to get their information. And you can't believe everything you see on there, obviously, but you are able to make a judgment about what you believe and what you don't. I now find the mainstream media almost unwatchable in terms of news and current affairs, because you watch it, you know exactly what they're going to say.
Have you accidentally broken your television yet?
No, I actually watch the news headlines to figure out or to understand what the major stories are. Has there been a tsunami, an earthquake, a landslide, or whatever? Then you get the bit about Brexit. You know exactly what they're going to say, and that's when I switch over and watch something else more interesting.
Excellent. And last question. I mean, I stood as a UKIP candidate in the last parliamentary elections. Since then, I'm a County Durham community peer mentor. I go to one of my local schools every Wednesday and have some of the children read to me to help them with their reading, as well as working very closely with some local partnerships and area partnerships. Considering that County Durham doesn't have any local authority elections until after the next general election, unlike everywhere else in the country, do you have any advice for any potential UKIP candidates who maybe will be standing in the elections in the next in about 3 or 4 years' time after the next election, of what they should start doing now to campaign for then?
Yes, it's more important to do a little often than try to do everything at the last minute. So anybody that wants to be a local councillor or a parliamentary candidate, certainly the parliamentary candidates must be selected now and campaign between now and the next general election, whenever it comes. And that means, as I say, doing a little but often, putting leaflets out every week, or doing street stalls, or certainly sometime during the month you go out and you deliver a leaflet on a certain subject or whatever policy area. And people vote for people they know. So the more you get known in your locality, the more likely you are to get voted in as a local councillor or a parliamentary candidate when the election comes along. It's
So would you say it's not the best idea to wait until near election time and just do a litter pick and have your picture done, like a lot of councillors seem to do?
It's absolutely the worst idea because I've had to do it many times in elections because I've gone and fought. Last time I fought, I was fought Mrs May in Maidenhead because I decided that it was something I needed to do at that particular time. I didn't get a great result. I got 1.9% of the vote, but I really enjoyed the campaign. I was on the platform with Mrs May. But really, if you want to win a seat, you've got to campaign in for parliamentary a year or two in advance so that people know who you are. And you're doing the right thing getting known in your locality for things other than politics. And if you are a community-minded person, you care about what happens in your locality, do what it is that you want to do. When people know you, if you decide to run for the local council, they're far more likely to vote for you if they know who you are and respect what you do.
Okay, well, thank you for coming to Durham, Gerard. It was a very interesting talk. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Cheers, Ken.